Okay, day 2, organic chemistry. We're going to talk about alkenes and alkynes. We're going to do page 3 and 4 in your packet, and then you will have a homework assignment tonight. In the homework assignment, you do have to draw some things on Wiser. It's a little tricky. Maybe at the end of this, I'll hop on and show you some tricks I found. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so alkenes and alkynes are also on table Q, the homologous series of hydrocarbons. Alkenes, the ENE ending, indicates you have one double bond. And one double bond means that they are unsaturated because they can hold more bonds. So basically, if you have 4 single bonds, your carbon is totally full. If you have a double bond, it means that that could break and make 2 singles. So you're unsaturated. They are nonpolar, have low melting points. So the lowest melting point would be at the second carbon, and the highest melting point would be at the 5th carbon. Ooh, I didn't realize I made you draw so many. Good times. Okay, general formula. This one is CnH2n. So if I have C100, I would just double the 100 to get 200. All right, so I'll do 2 and 3, and then you guys can practice 4 and 5. All right, so 2. So the prefix you go back to the other day. So Marvin eats peanut butter. It starts with an E. It's F. It's an alkene, so it ends in ENE. All right, so 2 carbons, they're going to have 1 single bond. So since this is, you only have 2 carbons, this is the single bond. Okay, so remember that carbon needs 4 bonds. The double counts as 2, so 1, 2. So that means this carbon needs 2 H's, so H, H. I drew them like off to the side because that's the real structure, but you can draw them up and down like that. Okay, so the condensed formula, remember, start with the first carbon. Say how many hydrogens you have? 2. Second carbon, CH2. Molecular formula is combining it. So C2, H, 2 plus 2, 4. Okay, so ethene, 2 carbons, 3, propene. Okay, C, C, C. So there's only going to be 1 double bond. You can put it at any spot. I'm just going to start putting it in the first one. So 1 double bond, that means the other one is a single. Okay, so let's count our bonds. 1, 2, so that means carbon 1 needs 2 hydrogens. Carbon 2 has 1, 2, 3 bonds, so that only needs 1 hydrogen. Carbon 3 has 1 bond, so it needs 3 hydrogens. H, H, H. No, I'm not. I started another one. It's okay. Okay, first carbon, CH2. Second carbon, CH. Third carbon, CH3. C3H6. So you wouldn't have to draw them out totally. You could just use the general formula if that's all you were asked for. Okay, so push pause, try to do the last 2. I'll come back and draw them, and then we'll have one more thing to do. Okay, so butene, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, 1 double bond, not 2. Okay, the first carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, if you want, you can just do these dashed lines for H's. H. I'm just going to write them in. Second carbon, 1, 2, 3 bonds, so you need 1 hydrogen. This carbon has 2, so you need 2 hydrogens. Third, 1, 2, 3. Or fourth needs 3. Okay, so condensed formula. CH2, the first one. CH, second one. Third one is CH2. Last one, CH3. C4H8. And then final one, 5-pentene. It's going to have 5 carbons. 4, 5. Okay. And then I'm just going to use dashes this time. So first carbon has 1, 2, so 3, 4. Second carbon, 1, 2, 3, so 4. Third carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. So CH2, CH, CH2. This carbon, CH2, CH3, C5H10. All right, and then the next one says, use the general formula to find the molecular formula for. So this one, you're gonna just plug into this. So take 2 seconds and enter that in. So hex is 6, C6, H, so 2N, 12. Hept, 7, double it. 8 oct, double it. Okay. All right, flip to page 4. Clear. Okay. All right. Alkynes have 1 triple bond, meaning they are also unsaturated. They are nonpolar, have low melting points. So the low melting point. Okay, that's fine. High melting point. Okay, so this is how you name them. The prefix for 2 is F. If it's an alkyne, it's YNE. So ethyne. Next one, propyne. Okay, so the structural formula. So this time you have a triple bond. Okay, and so now we just need to figure out our carbons, our hydrogens. So this carbon has 3 bonds. So you need a 4th bond, which is hydrogen. 3 bonds, 4th one. So the condensed formula, CH, oh, I forgot to do the general formula. CNH2N minus 2. Can you shut that door? Gross. Okay. C2H2 is the molecular formula. All right, next one, propyne. So 1, 2, 3 carbons, 1 triple bond, the other is a single bond. So that means that the first carbon has 3 bonds, so you need a 4th. The second carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, so that does not need any hydrogens. And then the third one has 1, so you need 3 hydrogens here. Okay, so perfect. So CH, C, CH3. First carbon has 1 hydrogen, the second carbon has 0 hydrogens, the third carbon has 3. Mason went outside. C3H4. Okay, so push pause and see if you can draw those. Next 2. And then I'll just wrap those up as quick ones. Butine, C. Okay, so there's your 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. So remember the dashes indicate hydrogens. So CH. Oh, I messed up. It's going too fast. Okay, so this one, the second carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4 already has all its hydrogens. Then 2, and 3. Okay, so CH, C, CH2, CH3, C4H6. Last one, pentyne, has 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 5 carbons, 1 triple bond. I'm almost done, buddy. This one has 3, so you need a 4th hydrogen. This one has 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has 2, so it needs 2. This has 2, so it needs 2. This one has 1, needs 3. So CH, CH2, CH2, CH3, C5H8. Okay. All right, so on these, why don't we just do the molecular formula? I feel like you probably don't need to draw them anymore. So hexyne, hex is 6. Use the CnH2n minus 2, so C6. So double the 6, 2 times 6 is 12, subtract 2, 10. Same with the octyne, so oct is 8, so CH, 2 times 8, 16, minus 2 is 14. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna do is this chart on the bottom, and then you will have a homework. Okay, so for alkanes, contains what type of bond? So alkanes are single. Alkenes, 1 double. Alkynes, 1 triple. The name ends in A-N-E. This one ends in E-N-E. This one ends in Y-N-E. So that's how you can tell from the name what type of bonds you have. General formula, CnH2n plus 2. Remember, you do not have to memorize that because it's in your reference table. CnH2n, CnH2n minus 2. And then this one is saturated, single. And then these two are unsaturated. Okay, so let me pull up the homework to talk about that for a minute. Okay, so this is, I'm just reviewing this homework right now to look at it. Okay, so let's say you are drawing this compound, butene. So if I wanted to draw, let's say, ethene. I would draw, I know that F has 2 carbons and it's connected by a double bond. So I would do C, then I would write an equal sign for C. Could also put the little, like a dash at the end because you know it's going to be attached to at least 1 hydrogen, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's say that's my structure. I'm gonna hit enter. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go to the pencil, and then I'm gonna add my H's. So C, let's see, the first carbon has 2, so I need 2 H's. So I just drew them like that. If I mess up, I can just make sure that's highlighted and then add it to the garbage can. Do my next one. Okay. If you want, you can just leave the dashes. It's probably easier. But you could add in your hydrogen. So I could do something like this. Okay, so that would probably be fine. But let's say you want to move that around. This is where I end up having some trouble. So I click on this, make sure it's highlighted, and then I click that. Sometimes it doesn't show up right away. So then I click it again. And oh, I didn't expect that to happen. And then I move that down there. Okay, so once you have this up, that's when you move it. So let's say I don't like that at all. I could trash it, or I want to move on. So I could just click off of that. Click the A or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of all of these. So I'm gonna hit that, delete this, delete. Just do your best on these. I know it's a little tricky, but you know, you'll get the hang of it. Okay, so that's it for today.